Thank you so much. The scripture today is Isaiah 55, 8 and 9. For my thoughts are not like your thoughts, neither are my ways like your ways, says the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So ends the reading. According to an old Hindu legend, there was a time when all people were gods. But they so abused their divinity that Brahma, the chief god, decided to take it away from them and hide it where they would never find it again. Where to hide it became the big question. When the lesser gods were called in council to consider this question, they said, "We will bury man's divinity deep in the earth." But Brahma said, "No, that will not do. For man will dig deep down into the earth and find it." Then they said to sink it in the ocean or hide it on a mountaintop. But Brahma said, "No, man will explore and find it." The lesser gods gave up and concluded, "We do not know where to hide it, for it seems there is no place on earth or in the sea that man will not eventually reach." Then Brahma said, "Here is what we will do with man's divinity. We will hide it deep down in man himself, and he will never think to look for it there." Ever since, the legend concludes, man has been going up and down the earth, climbing, digging, diving, exploring, searching for something that is already in himself, already in ourselves. A difficult thing to comprehend and experience is that the answers to most of our questions are deep down inside of our own consciousness. Looking outside ourselves at the world around us can confuse what are man-made issues and what is our individual divine spiritual consciousness. Mark 12:14 through 17. And they sent him some men out of the scribes and of the Herodians, that they might trap him by a word. They came and asked him, "Master, we know that you are true and you do not favor any man, for you are impartial and you teach the way of God in truth. Is it lawful to give head tax to Caesar or not? Shall we give or shall we not give?" But he knew of their scheme and said to them, "Why do you tempt me? Bring me a penny that I may see it." And they brought it to him. He said to them, "Whose is this image and inscription?" They said, "Caesar's." Jesus said to them, "Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's." And they were amazed at him. In this scripture, Jesus is teaching that we can live in the circumstances of our culture. There's all kinds of stuff. Every government in the world is different, but people have to live within that culture. But we can still stay true to our divine consciousness, our consciousness of God. Our relationship with God is a peace that passes all understanding, a consciousness that allows us to interact and cope with all that is happening around us and still stay centered in our own divine consciousness. Many thousands of years ago, our ancestors learned to survive in a time when it truly was survival of the fittest. Our egos, then and now, are the part of our personality that is always on the lookout for what we consciously or subconsciously perceive as danger. You can imagine thousands of years ago, you're literally with the lions and the woolly mammoths and you're trying to make a living. You would really, your whole idea of survival would be minute to minute. But this human trait creates a feeling of being separate. Danger out there, and then myself. Them versus me. Survival of the fittest. From the day we're born until this very minute, until right now, we are creating habitual behaviors to protect us from what is going on around us. Most of our learned behaviors are useful and allow us to function in our society. There are also those behaviors, reactions, and thoughts that interfere with our relationship to others and with our own peace of mind. A broken heart, a lost job, a dream unfulfilled can create an ego that'll build security fences, building fences around us in an attempt to protect us from physical and/or emotional pain. It's human nature. This creates a consciousness of separation. They hurt me, keep away from me. This didn't work out, I'm not going to do it anymore. And in many cases, this ends up being self-defeating. Our spiritual journey is to find a path that allows us to access our inner peace, the God presence within. On this journey, we will naturally confront, one by one, those parts of our ego that do not serve us. When we hit that emotional place, it's going to come up and there it is. Mystics of all religions teach of having a very real experience of being an integral part of the universe, with access to enlightened thought and ways of being. Some refer to this as gnosis, a personal experience of the divine. This experience is not an intellectual understanding. It's actually that feeling when you know something else is out there bigger than ourselves. A person could read their whole life about sailing a boat, but until they have sailed in calm, sunny weather and in rough seas, they haven't experienced a boat on the water and learned the necessary skills and wisdom that brings you back to the harbor safely. Like sailing or any skill, learning to access our divine consciousness requires hands-on practice. In monasteries, ashrams, chapels, on mountaintops and by the sea, they're sacred places where people gather to worship and enhance their personal connection to a deeper consciousness. A consciousness of being a divine part of the whole, while in the midst of all the crazy, stressful happenings going on around us. We could list so many things right now that are just wacko. You know, the world is, there's stuff going on, but we know that we want to stay centered. A consciousness that allows us to be the calm in the storm. Our chapel has been a doorway for many people searching to strengthen their experience of divine consciousness. We are here to assist anyone that walks through our doors, visits us on Zoom, or discovers our philosophy through social media or word of mouth. We are here to support people's efforts in creating a fulfilling, peaceful life. Every person will navigate the good and the trying times with the tools that they have learned. As mystics, therapists, and our own mothers have taught us, we can learn to witness our own behavior. We can look at what we're doing from a third-person point of view. With this understanding, we can learn to modify those behaviors that don't serve us. You remember even just as a little kid, You got to share your toys. It's the same as adults. Share your knowledge. Behaviors that do not serve us create the impression of a separation between ourselves and the greater whole. Our lives are busy, and sometimes we feel like we're in that proverbial rat race. At home and at work, we are constantly reminded of our responsibilities and our to-do list. I mean, you can't walk in the kitchen without thinking about, man, I need to clean it up. You can't walk in the garage. And your work, if your computer's there, you know there's emails you need to respond to. Many days pass, and all we manage to do is take care of the immediate issues in front of us. We all know, you get busy at work, you have things, all you're trying to do is keep up. Many first-time and long-time congregants mention that when they come to the chapel, they feel a peaceful energy. They feel something different here. Just a temporary break from their daily concerns. They can't see their computer, they can't see their kitchen. They're in a place where it's different. The question arises, how and why do people feel this energy? Why do you feel something? Why are people drawn here? There's two familiar sayings that speak to this phenomena. Seek and you shall find. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. People seek to be at peace with themselves and with others. How do we make these glimpses of a peaceful energy experienced? In our chapel, you may come for a Sunday and just get that little, that was a nice morning. That worked out well. How do you make that become a natural part of your life? Could be anything. If you're learning to cook, speak a new language, playing a musical instrument, it takes discipline, it takes learning, study, and practice. Probably the most important part is practice. Classes and reading only take you so far. The real work is in your practice time, applying what you have learned. Does that sound? All of us. You can read about a new software, but until you've used it and gone through all the bugs, everything takes practice. There will be many days you don't feel like going to a lesson or practicing. How many days do you not feel like going to work? But we need the paycheck, so we're pretty disciplined about getting to work. How many times do you not feel like coming to the chapel? It's a nice Sunday morning and you think, man, I'd rather just stay home. This is when you choose how important something is to you. Everything takes practice. Everything, you take lessons. You take piano lessons, but then you got to go practice. Today we are contemplating all of our pieces of mind. We're looking for that spiritual part of our life when we're at peace, when we're feeling joy. So how motivated are we to wake up every day feeling at peace and love with your life? Just like you have to master things at work because there's a reason for it. This is about your own peace of mind. How motivated are you to set up the practice and the study? To feel what mystics have experienced throughout recorded history. Our spiritual development requires the same instruction, study, and most important, that discipline as every other aspect of our life. Joel Smith is considered one of the great mystics of the 20th century. He wrote many books and called his teachings the infinite way. From the book, The Heart of Mysticism, people on the spiritual path usually recognize a mystic as an individual who has attained some measure of conscious awareness of God, one who lives a greater and greater portion of his or her experience in the presence of this oneness, and is prepared to be an instrument of expression or fulfillment for God's purpose. Someone that's had a taste of it, and they want to share it, they want to use it. Smith felt strongly that those who were inwardly directed to enhance their capacity to experience this conscious awareness could accelerate their progress toward this goal through the active study and practice of specific spiritual principles. When this was coupled with the practice of meditation, he had the conviction this would inevitably lead to the mystical experience. Smith emphasizes that in his opinion, no part of the message of the infinite way is more important than meditation, for it is only through meditation that we can quiet the outside world and enter a state of peace and serenity in which we become receptive to the presence of the divine within ourselves. Quieting our mind, quieting our emotions. We navigate our way through our ego-built fences and enter divine consciousness. We meditate, work comes up. That's not the way I meditate. Different things come up. As long as those things are coming up, that's our ego. That's those natural fences. And what we're doing is just, we recognize that, we witness what we're thinking, but we gently return our attention back to whatever the meditation is. And we just continually do that. And what we're doing is gently working our way through all our individual fences, those ego, habitual ways of thinking. There may be times in meditation when no thoughts come, but be grateful. Thoughts are not necessary. Be satisfied with the sense of peace that is beyond words and thoughts and knowledge, and just relax in it. So often we go into meditation, we think, oh, I'm going to see God, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And we can just find that quiet, and we can work through our ego. We're strengthening that ability to just go into that quiet place. The further along the spiritual path you travel, the more frequently you experience the spirit that dwells within. We continue to live and work in the physical world, but give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God's. So we have all these outside responsibilities we're going to take care of. But if in your to-do list, you want to keep your job, you want to have a good relationship, but I want to spend time on myself. If in there's just, I want to be able to be happy with myself. If that's one of your goals, then you have to set up a method to do it. What's keeping you? What are the ego fences you need to work through? With discipline, consistency, and practice, our approach to life will become increasingly centered in the divine. Blessings. We're going to go ahead and go into the meditation now. And if you would set aside your bulletins, your hymnals, get comfortable and relaxed. Go ahead and close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Just breathing in and breathing out. I'm just going to grab something. Just take your time and just breathing in and breathing out. Now, as you're breathing, just place all your attention on your head. Visualize as you inhale, all the oxygen is going into your head. And as you exhale, feel every muscle in your scalp, in your forehead, in your eyes, and your face relax. Breathe into your head. As you exhale, feel all those muscles relaxing. And Now, if you place your attention on your shoulders, your arms, and your hands, and breathe into your shoulders, your arms, and your hands. Actually feel the oxygen go into that. As you exhale, feel the shoulders relaxing, your biceps, forearms, your hands, your fingers. Just feel them relax. Again, breathing into your arms, shoulders, your hands, and relax. Now your torso. Slowly breathing into your torso, a nice long breath. Whatever speed you want. Gently relax your torso as you exhale. Now into your hips, your legs, and your feet. All your attention. As you exhale, feel those muscles relaxing. Breathing into your hips, your legs, your feet, and relax. And now breathe into your whole body. Breathe into your whole body, every part of your body, and then feel your whole body relax into the pew. Relaxing gently into the pew. Now just keep breathing, nice long slow breaths into your whole body. And I'm going to play some recorded music. And allow your body just to feel in sync with the vibration of the different notes. Just let it go wherever it feels like it should. And when thoughts come, gently acknowledge them. Acknowledge what the thoughts are, but then return all your attention back to the sound and the feeling in your body, feeling the vibrations in your body. Taking a nice breath in and relaxing. eyes remaining closed, just gently release. With no cares or concerns. Just breathe normally with no cares or concerns. Be aware of a nice fresh breath coming into your lungs. And when you're ready, just gently wiggle your toes and fingers and bring yourself back into the chapel. Inside the bulletin, there's some questions on an insert. And Claudia, if you could bring some pencils for anyone that needs them. If you need a pencil or a pen, just motion to Claudia when she comes in. Alrighty. You have a pencil? Okay, great. All right, so you can see on these questions, the first one is, what is something you'd like to remember from today's service? Hopefully something. Well, just think about it. Just kind of meditate a little bit. And what is something that you might like to think about again tomorrow or tonight? Something you might want to have in a dream or a prayer. Just start writing. Many times it's almost like automatic writing. Sometimes stuff will come up that you didn't even think about in the meditation. So try to just start writing and let your hand just do whatever it'd like to do. You can really be surprised many times what will come out. If you have a lot more to write on question one, make some notes. Just kind of outline it. You could come back later and do it. Just if there's things you'd like to just make some bullet points and you could come back later. All right, so then just putting in writing something in your life that you'd like to contemplate. You might want it to change. You might want to just observe how you feel about it. If you just write something in your life that you'd like to contemplate or change, putting it in writing really gets things going in the subconscious. So much about meditation. It's not what the meditation is, it's the idea of getting out of what your natural thoughts are. So whatever someone's asking you to do in the meditation, even if you don't want to do it, if you're not doing it, it's because your ego's saying, I don't want to. What we're assuming is we're kind of stuck in our ways. And so it's not so much what the meditation is as just do it. Because we're trying to tell our higher self that my ego is not in control. I'm going to allow my higher self to do whatever this exercise is. And again, if you'd like to just jot down, if there's more things you'd like to do, just jot down kind of some bullet points of that second question. Then on the third question, how do you see yourself implementing any desired changes? If there's something in your life you'd like to change, you have to have some kind of plan. Because everything we've done in our life has brought us to the point where we are. So if we want to change something, we have to do something different. So what is something you think you could do different in your life that could get you past something you'd like to change? It could be the smallest thing. All right, so if you have more things, go ahead and just bullet them. Bullet things you'd have, and you could come back and look at them later. I'm a big proponent of meditation and journaling. The journaling, you can go back a year ago, and it's really interesting watching how the thoughts and the meditations evolve.